has settled as writers, but not the entire 100%, because they know what is the pulse of the readers, the audience, you can say. They know how to write it. They know what to use, the kind of vocabulary, the kind of terminology, the kind of structure, organization, etc., etc. So that's why we always say writing is a very difficult task. It's not an easy, for except for those who have practiced it enough. Yes? So please remember, effective technical communication in English is not just a subject, but it has all the paraphernalia of the tools. Paraphernalia is nothing but the tools, the required tools for you to equip yourselves to write on any topic, on any content, in any format, as and when the demand arises. It might be some demand in your forthcoming semesters. It could be some other demand at the workplace wherein you are supposed to fulfill those demands. That's why you are hired for. Right. So, technical communication is some kind, a kind of communication that differs slightly from your general communication. Now, I have few things. Today is the intro class. I am not going to start with straight away the lecture on what is what or something like that. If time permits, I would like to share with you a few points related to that. But then, initially, I would like to share the screen with you so that you can have a look at the syllabus. This is the syllabus of ETCE. Once we meet online, offline next week, I am going to share with you a copy. I can just post it. So you can see what are the course objectives. Every course has a particular objective, and it expects the students to be trained to achieve something towards the end of the completion. So the objectives are to train you, to expose you, to give you inputs related to the features of technical communication and the types of professional correspondence, techniques of report writing, basics of manual writing, aspects of data transfer, and presentations. Already you have done your presentations in the English lab. Of course, we did not evaluate your presentations, but however, you have made your PPTs and submitted. So keep those PPTs safe with you, because towards the end of the fifth unit, I'm going to cater 5 minutes. If I'm planning that as a part of my lesson plan. If the time is sufficient, I would be asking my students to present on their chosen topics, right? So, what do we expect on the completion of the course? What do we expect you to hone the skill, to achieve the skill? So you should be able to handle technical communication in an effective manner. So what is this handling? It's not something that you can just put it, lift it, and throw it, or carry it to some other place. It's all about your preparedness to organize on any given topic and present appropriately. And not just that, you should develop diverse ways of expressing yourselves in different formats for different purposes. That is a professional correspondence, which includes basically the business letters, the proposals, and many things like that. Sales letters, like generating responses to sales letters, pursuing some sales that is stopped at a point, acknowledging the receipt of a product, etc., etc. Because when you are at workplace, these skills are what the are going to come to your rescue rather than your complete technical stuff. Use various techniques of writing reports is something, because it has some analytical purpose associated with it, and you will also receive some basic kind of training, or the formats related to manual writing. enhance your skills to interpret information, to condense and transfer information from verbal to non-verbal, as well as present on any given topic in an effective manner using the appropriate slides, appropriate tables, etc. So you can have a look for yourself. On in unit 1 you have the definition and features of technical communication. What does it mean? What are the features? Because communication differs from field to field, and in general there's a lot of difference between how you communicate in the world on a day-to-day basis than how you communicate in a workplace environment where there is a limitation for each and everything. So how do you abide by that in order to be an effective communicator? Then differences between writing that is related to general pattern as well as technical pattern. Types of technical communication, oral and written. What are the different things considered under this? Unit 2 is all about technical writing, official correspondence, emails, IO, inter-office memorandum, business letters, business proposals. You can see for yourself, technical writing 2, that is unit 2, is very very lengthy because it has lot many topics to be covered and lot many samples categories under the same variant, right? Unit 3 is about somebody has joined. I think they are seeking permission. Siddhartha. Why? What happened to Siddhartha? What happened? Siddhartha, haven't you used your official mail ID? Who is the CR of the class in the first year, second sem? May I ask who is the CR? CR of the class. Could you respond?
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. 74, may I know your name? Can you please show your face on screen?
Madam, in my area, electricity is interrupted, madam. I am not in a position to open my camera. I started my back.
But fine, even with the help of mobile, you could open the camera. Okay, fine. What's your name?
Ajay Karthik, ma'am.
Ajay Karthik, CR of the class. Fine. Do me a favor, just make a note of the people attending the classes. I'll be calling out your attendance. In any case, I'll be doing that. But in any case, you are also required to make a note. Please remember, when I say this is the end of the class, you need to drop your name and roll number in the chat box every day. Am I clear to you? It is see, we are talking about effective communication, right? But people do not even have the courtesy to respond back to any given question, any given instruction. That is very unfortunate. Are you able to follow what I am saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Ma'am.
do drop your name and roll number in the chat box towards the end, not now. When I say we call it a day, that's when you are supposed to do it. Fine. So today my focus is on the syllabus and certain other things that I feel are very, very important to orient you for the classes. Maybe today is the only leisure talk that I am going to have because you must have been informed. This is a 10-week semester, very crushed, cramped, and of that you also have 3 plus 3 days going and going as what to say, examinations, catered to examinations, and a few holidays now and then. But then the rest of the days we should hurry up and complete it. So I was sharing with you people the syllabus. Technical writing too is all about it. Maybe if at all I question you, you can just say you know how to write letters. That's what you are trained in. You know how to write general reports. But from that level of writing goes a little deeper here to make you feel that it is professional correspondence. Any kind of communication that is sent across in the fields of professional worlds becomes a professional correspondence, and people make use of that repeatedly to get back to you, to quote, to talk, etc., etc., etc. Then types of, you have unit 4 that is catered entirely to technical writing 3, that is manual writing. You have different types of manuals, and how manuals differ from other forms of writing, right? Before we proceed with it, I just have a word of request here. If you are buying any new gadget for your personal use or whatever it is, just preserve the booklet that is given along with the gadget. We will make use of that in the classroom interaction. Unit 5 is all about information transfer and presentation. Information can be transferred from verbal to non-verbal, or even from non-verbal to verbal. So what are the different forms? Why do we need them? What is the significance? Why? What does each and every uh, transfer help us in depicting information the way we want it? And some important points or do's and don'ts of presentations. What should one be abiding by while making presentations, etc. So this is the syllabus. Okay, now I would like to move on to what to say, assignments. Please pay complete attention. This is with reference to you. You must have received two assignments in the second semester for 3 plus 2 units, or 2.5 and 2.5 units for English. I do not know about the other subjects, but in spite of, I really want to do it in a focused manner. Of course, you have to reciprocate very, very quickly by responding as well as submitting, meeting the deadlines. You have 5 units in all, and unit wise we are going to give you at least two questions, that is 10 assignments. I would like to regard each and every question as an assignment, not assignment questions. I hope I am clear in this aspect. You need to complete that and submit the assignments. Now we have joined the Google Classroom for the present online session. But remember, your Google Classroom is going to be very, very helpful for us to be connected, to stay connected, to keep you updated about the sharing of notes, information, etc. So I would be posting the assignments in the Google Classroom, and you are supposed to respond to me. Uh, of course, if it is an online instruction, you will be responding to me through online mode. But now that we are going offline, you would submit your assignments by the set deadline, right? However, you will refer to your Google Classroom for the sake of at assignments as well as notes that I would be sharing with you. Your pattern of examination has been familiarized to you in the previous 2 semesters, wherein you have CIE 1 and CIE 2. The pattern of evaluation is the same, scheme of marking is the same, 20 internals, 5 quiz, and 5 assignments. And 70 is the SCE, that is semester end examinations. Now I also have the previous years ETCE question papers. ETCE has earlier been introduced in the year 2019 in the first semester, that is June. So that is June to July. We have at least 5 papers with us. I shall discuss the question papers only towards the end of the syllabus, but not prior to that, because it doesn't make any sense even if we take up for discussion. Then important thing is, I wish to move, yeah, go, I would be uploading the notes once the unit is done. This time, because we are moving on in a very hectic manner, I want to keep the notes ready so that the moment I am done with unit, I will intimate you on WhatsApp that the notes has been uploaded. I shall not delay in any case, because you need to prepare, you need to practice. I would like to emphasize on one particular point here. If it were English, you could think generally and right away, just like that, and get through. But let me warn you here, it's a word of caution. It's not a threat or a warning, it's a word of caution. Please prepare very, very thoroughly to attempt your written communication just like the oral communication. So, it implies that you need to be well versed and familiarized with what goes into the writing skill, right? I would, I'm done with what I have the points in mind today I wanted to share with you. And attendance is mandatory. As of now, I can see just 45, 49 students out of 56. 56 have joined the classroom, whereas the class strength is supposed to be more than that, 60 plus 8, 68, right? But even then, only 49 out of 56 have joined. Regularity pays. Sometimes your intelligence may fail you, but your hard work does not. In a similar manner, if you are regular by listening to classes, you can retain 65% of what you hear. So you will be able to understand, comprehend, and add something on your previous contemplation and present your answers properly. So be regular to your classes. Now, moving on to the next important thing, I am going to share with you a few points on writing skills, written communication, you may call it as, because I just want, say, simply if I say this is tough, this is challenging, you might not really believe me. But let me tell you, why is this writing skill a bit complicated? Why does it pose a challenge to the Indian learners, to the second language learners, right? Let's have a look at let's have a glance at it. So we have one important thing. Let me put on the slideshow. Writing skills, the most important skill, the often neglected skill. You can see for yourself, it's the most important and the complex skill. Most important because every now and then you need to communicate with people. You need to communicate. If it is oral communication, you can just speak your mind. But if it is written communication, you should speak your mind, bearing in mind the other person's ability to understand. So that makes it more challenging and more complex, right? In order to succeed in your written communication, you should know the orthography of the second language. That is, what is orthography? By the way, can I ask you this question because you have finished your lab exam also? What is orthography? ECB students, I don't want silence as a response. I want people to respond back. What is orthography? Can anyone tell me? 69? 69?
Phonetics, ma'am.
Phonetics,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
No, for
Like
transcription.
it's two types, ma'am. The second type of phonetic.
Okay, okay. You understood it that way. See, when we have the phonetic script, we say it is transcription enclosed between slashes. When you say orthography, the written symbol in English is orthography. The spelling form of a word is
Spoken English, ma'am. Just as
spelling form of any word is orthography. So when we say it is orthography, you should know how to write the spellings, how to not misspell any particular word, etc. And if you really want to achieve success in your written communication, you should know the word order appropriately. Because in general, unless and until if it is not for the sake of emphasis, people use word order in a way that any adverb follows. He ran quickly. You nobody says he quickly ran, right? Unless and until it has some kind of emphatical meaning associated with it. He ran quickly to the door and grabbed the lock before the thieves could enter the room, something like that. So word order is very important so that it does not create any kind of miscommunication. And of course, grammar is something that we are familiar with, we know the rules of it, but I'm not commenting on any others. In general, people make mistakes with the tenses, right? And this has a relevance with your technical written skills, because whenever we report an incident or an event, we are never supposed to write in the present tense. We should either stick to past tense or past perfect tense. That's it. We cannot bring in present tense, present perfect tense in any case. And a misplaced comma definitely leads to erroneous message. As we move along to the other slides, you will know why is punctuation, especially the comma and other things, are very very important. Okay, and know you should also know how to express a particular meaning using different grammatical forms, because the same word may mean differently depending on the context. The same word may be used either as a noun or a verb or an adjective depending on the word accent, the stress mark, right? So basically, most of the times it's the context that helps us to understand what is the meaning of the word. Sometimes it's the other forms of the verb, that is, you can derive more number of words. You have been trained in unit 1 vocabulary, prefixes, suffixes of sem 2, so you have lot many of them. But let me also tell you something. Simple words that are used in a general sense, they tend to attain specific meaning when used in technical communication. You know, the simple word earth, earth, earth means the planet earth. Even the soil, loose soil, is called earth by some people. That is a general meaning. But if you talk to an electrician or even electrical engineer, they say the earthing is not properly done for this building. It might absorb shocks when there is electrical discharge from the atmosphere. So that's how people say earthing has a technical meaning, technical sense of meaning there. It's the same word, but it has a different meaning. So you should be aware of these different meanings, because according to the research in the second language area and all, people have identified that vocabulary poses to be the most challenging, problematic area for second language learners, especially those who wish to pursue higher academics. They should be trained in all these aspects of, identifying the root, identifying the suffixes, prefixes, identifying the different senses it can give rise to meaning. So you should be able to express that. Fine. If we have the knowledge with us, that's sufficient. But if we are able to generate and use it, that's when we say we own each and every skill that we are trained in. So that's the reason why writing skills are equally important. Then you should also know something related to synonyms and antonyms. What are synonyms? What are antonyms? Leave alone these writing skills in general. If you really want to prove your worth, metal in any field, you should know at least two synonyms and two antonyms of every word that you have in your mind, because technical writing goes with a variety. Technical writing doesn't involve repetition, redundancy, we may call it. It has to be apt to the point and very exactly communicated. It should not give rise to any disorientation of meaning. For the reason which, in order to avoid that repetition and all, we should know the synonyms and antonyms. Then English is a beautiful language, because I love English because I'm an English teacher. I also love English because it has got so many varieties. There is some challenging aspect also in learning the language. It has got something called the polysemic feature. One word, I don't want to say English alone has it. In Telugu, you must have learned up to school days Nanarthalu, Paryaya Padalu. Have you learnt or not? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Paryaya Padalu means synonyms. One more,
Synonyms.
yeah, more meanings of the same word. Nanardalu means a word meaning more than a word having more than one meaning. So, if you are aware of this policy or this kind of feature, this is what is going to cause the entire trouble in English. So, you should know what is this feature. I will show you in the upcoming slide. And when we write something as a paragraph or something like that, we feel sometimes there is a missing link, there is something that is missing. How to fill that missing links? That is possible when we use signaling words or transitional devices. Use appropriate cohesive devices or connectives. So they show, see, conjunctions help you to join words, to join sentences, but connectives or cohesive devices or transitional devices, people call it with various names. They help you join ideas. When your sentences are appropriate, when they are grammatically appropriate, but still when they are not united by means of these employment of devices, they sound like simple things, disjunct bits put together as information. But no one would be really interested to read at something like that. People want to make sense of what they read. In order to ensure that you give them that sense, you should be able to develop your writing skill to that particular point. Don't develop your writing skill for the sake of 20 marks of internal and 70 marks of SCE. Develop this particular skill to enjoy your own writing, because you have a long way to go. You need it on a day-to-day basis, everywhere. Let me also tell you, by means of my observation, I noted that those who read some or the other thing, they are good at expressing their views in written form. Those who keep writing on a daily basis, they are very strong in their grammar. So, if you practice on a daily basis, you will achieve your required target. Writing skills. As I told you, punctuation errors cannot be accepted in written communication. No, actually, there is no need of a comma here. No U-turn. That's it. No, which means I don't want to turn, you turn. That's what it implies. Can you tell me what's a mistake here? Thank you for coming. If you had a good time, tell a friend. If you did not, tell us. What does it mean? Where's the punctuation error? Could you guess? Let me also give a clue. This needs a small comma inserted. Where should the comma be inserted? Read it. Just
Instead of full stop.
you mean tell a friend. You mean I should insert the comma after a friend?
Instead of that full stop.
Okay. Anybody else?
Comma after good time.
After good time.
Okay. Anybody else? I got two different responses. Anybody else? So, according to what I perceive the message is, if you had a good time, because it's a clausal sentence, there should be a comma here. Tell a friend. That's good. There should be a comma after good time. Tell a friend, full stop. If you did not, there should be a comma after that. Tell us. There are two commas missing here. If you had a good time, comma, tell a friend. If you did not, comma, tell a friend, tell us. That's it. So there are features of language, especially with reference to vocabulary, homonyms, homophones, homographs. What are these? words that sound alike but are spelled differently. Because of that, you may misuse that word. Because of that, you may use that word in your sentence which might not fit into your context at all. So how do we overcome that? If you are a very good listener, you don't have any problem in picking the right word. Homographs, same words, that are spelled the same but have different meanings. They may be slightly varying in the pronunciation also, right? For example, bank and bank. Bank is a river bank. Bank is a financial institution. Sometimes we use the bank as a verb also, like I bank on you for your contribution, something like that. Then writing skills, the polysemic features, it might be resulting because of the homophones concept. I lost my patience. I lost my patience. Slight difference in the pronunciation that makes a huge difference to the meaning. I lost my patience. I lost my patience. There is sh sound slightly over here. Then dictionary corner, your library, your here. That is, you can hear by clicking on the so and so button. Instead of your here means that is this indicates that you could play the button and hear as well. Whereas here is a place that indicates the direction exactly. 106 Louisville, we buy used cars instead of buy. Buy. Okay, this is known to us. But as learned people, as people with at least some common sense, we try avoiding certain mistakes. We don't do these mistakes. But people on hoardings, we come across that so many are there. If you go, if you just can take a click of it, you can use it in some of in a lighter vein, you can make presentations on those as well. Please keep the chairs on all four legs. Don't rear back in the chairs. This breaks the chairs. Please keep the chairs on all four legs. Don't rear back in the chairs. This breaks the chairs. BREKS. REAR. Right? FORE. Not FOUR. You know, four legs, hind legs. We know about that, right? You rock, you rule. This is a rock, so it says you rock. It is a ruler, so it says you rule. Palm can mean both a tree as well as the hand. Jam, traffic jam, eatable jam, and just a minute is one more thing that we could add over here. Roll, a spring roll, a veg roll. This is what eat. Something that can be rolled on the floor. Mark is your, you can see for yourself. Ball, fine is what you pay. I'm fine, doing good. That is a polysemic feature. Because language gives rise to all kinds of difficulties, and a person who is not well versed with these aspects of language will definitely fall into a kind of trouble. In order to avoid this, we should have a thoroughness, on all these aspects. Apart from that, we should also know what is what. In the first place, before I end my today's class, I just want to tell you something. Writing does not come at a go. Writing requires and takes a lot of courage and practice. If you want to express something on your own without being corrected, you need to follow the quick steps like pre writing, writing, and post writing. You need to organize your thoughts in the mind very, very initially, after which you can go ahead and say, yes, I have done it. Have a glance at it and have also, you should have the guts to accept your mistakes. If we don't do that, our growth stops there. We get stagnated. So everyone has their own approach and style. But what is your uniqueness? That is what you are trying to learn, master. So we are here to train you in all these particular respects with reference to effective technical communication in English. The more the merrier is a proverb all of us know. For example, I have some Samsung phone mobile with me. Suppose somebody says, if I gift you some iPhone or some other A1, what are the brands? I'm not even well versed. OnePlus, whatever it is. I say, yeah, fine, do that, because the more the merrier. The more I get advanced with technology, the more I know I have the features of using the technology with me. I'm really, really happy. But when it comes to education, we should never stop with the least. The more, the merrier, which means the more you listen, the more you write, the more you read, the more you have the benefits of, well trained student. I don't look at any student in terms of just obedience or something. It's about your own efficiency or proficiency in the use of language that should be displayed towards the end. When you graduate out from this college, you should grow and become intellectually independent rather than intellectually dependent. Our education should give us this liberation. So I wish all of you to follow the rule, follow the lectures, practice as and when I ask you to do, and submit the assignments on deadlines. So hopefully, after this class, probably we might be meeting offline. Let's see if it is going to happen. I wish to meet you offline so that we can have good interactive sessions. Apart from that, I also wish to share with you some handouts. So I would post in the group. It is your responsibility to get it, uh, to get the hard copies so that we can work out the exercises. Because I told you, written communication does not happen with mere lecturing. It happens with involvement in the work that we are supposed to undertake. Now, you have some 12 sentences over here. Quickly, at a glance, just tell me how to organize it, the organization of this paragraph, to make it meaningful. Now, you give me your attendance at the same time. Roll number 61,
Present, ma'am.
62,
Present, ma'am.
3,
Present, ma'am.
4,
Present, ma'am.
5,
Present, ma'am.
6,
Present, ma'am.
7, 8, 9,
Present, ma'am.
9 present, ma'am.
70,
Present, ma'am. 70.
1,
Present, ma'am.
2,
Present, ma'am.
3,
Present, madam.
4,
Present, ma'am.
5,
Present, ma'am.
6,
Present, ma'am.
7, 8,
Present,
9,
ma'am.
9,
9 present, ma'am.
80,
Present, ma'am.
1,
Yes, ma'am.
2,
Present, ma'am.
3,